Hello everyone, welcome to my channel on engineering mathematics. In this video, I am going to discuss basic and feasible solutions of linear programming problems. But first, we will see the points that I am going to cover in this video. First, we will see introduction to solutions of LPP. Then we will see introduction to basic and feasible solutions of LPP. We will call these solutions as BFS. BFS stands for basic and feasible solutions. Next, we will see steps to find BFS of LPP. Then we will see examples based on BFS of LPP. And finally, some examples as an exercise. Now let us proceed with first point, that is introduction to solutions of LPP. The solutions of LPP involves determining the values of the decision variables that satisfies the given constraints and optimize the objective function. Objective function may be of the type maximize or minimize. Solutions of LPPs are categorized based on their feasibility and optimality as follows. First, we will see feasible solutions. A solution that satisfies all the constraints of the LPP, including non-negativity conditions, is called as feasible solution. Next, we see optimal solutions. Among all feasible solutions, the one that results in the best value of the objective function, that is maximum or minimum value, is called as the optimal solution. Note that in this session we will focus only on feasible solutions. Now let us see introduction to basic and feasible solutions of LPP. A basic feasible solution is a solution to a linear programming problem that satisfies the system of linear constraints, including equality, inequality, and non-negativity restrictions. It has exactly m non-zero variables. We call them as basic variables, where m is the number of constraints in the LPP. And all the other variables, which we call as non-basic variables, are set to 0. Note that if you represent the LPP graphically, then BFS, that is basic feasible solution, corresponds to a vertex of the feasible region in the solution space. Now let us see steps to find basic and feasible solutions of LPP. First step is to convert constraints to equalities. We introduce slack or surplus variables to convert inequality constraints to equalities. Next step is to choose basic and non-basic variables. Here we select m variables, we call them as basic variables, corresponding to the number of constraints. Then we set the remaining n minus m variable, we call them as non-basic variables, to 0. Then in next step, we solve the system of equations. We solve the basic variables using equality constraints. Next, we check the feasibility. We ensure that all the basic variables values are non-negative. Then such a solution is called as basic and feasible solution. Let us understand this with the help of examples. Here is our first example. Question is to find all the basic feasible solutions of the following LPP. This LPP's objective function is of the maximized type. It is z is equal to 3x1 plus 2x2, subject to the constraints x1 plus x2 less than or is equal to 6 and 2x1 plus x2 less than or is equal to 10. Given non-negativity restrictions are x1, x2 greater than or equal to 0. Let us proceed for the solution. First, we convert inequalities into equalities. We see there are two constraint inequalities. To convert them into equality, we will add slack variables into LHS of these inequalities. So these inequality now will become x1 plus x2 plus s1 is equal to 6. We added s1 over here. Then this second inequality will become 2x1 plus x2 plus s2 is equal to 10. We added s2 over here. And non-negativity restrictions are now x1, x2, s1, s2 greater than or equal to 0. So here we see there are 4 variables involved: x1, x2, s1 and s2. So as I said, the total number of variables are 2 plus 2, two are x1, x2 and another two are s1, s2 equal to 4. But the total number of constraints are 2, this one and this one. Therefore, the basic solution can be obtained by keeping 4 minus 2 variables equal to 0. We choose all possible combinations of 2 variables from these 4 variables as a non-basic variable and keep them to 0 to find the solution of this LPP. These 2 variables can be obtained in following fashion. We can choose s1, s2 equal to 0, or x1, s1 equal to 0, or x1, s2 equal to 0, or x2, s1 equal to 0, or finally x2, s2 equal to 0. Now let us take the first case where we keep s1 and s2 equal to 0. When we keep s1 and s2 equal to 0, our constraints becomes x1 plus x2 is equal to 6 and 2x1 plus x2 is equal to 10. These two equations can be solved simultaneously to get x1 is equal to 4 and x2 is equal to 2. Let us check whether this solution obtained is feasible or not. Yes, it is feasible. And why? Because we see it satisfies all the constraints. There are 2 constraints involved. The solution is x1 is equal to 4, x2 is equal to 2, s1 is 0, s2 is 0. So it satisfies the constraints. And second thing, it satisfies all the non-negativity restrictions. Therefore, this solution is feasible solution. Let us proceed for case 2, where we are keeping x1 and s1 equal to 0. When we substitute this in these constraints, we see x2 is equal to 6 is obtained from the first constraint because x1 and s1 is equal to 0. And from second constraint, we get x2 plus s2 is equal to 10 because x1 is 0. Let us substitute x2 is equal to 6 over here. So we will get s2 is equal to 4. So here solution obtained is x1 is equal to 0, s1 is equal to 0, x2 is equal to 6, s2 is equal to 4. Let us ask ourselves, is the solution feasible? Answer is yes. Why? Because it satisfies 2 conditions. First one is this solution satisfies all the constraints. And second thing is this solution obeys the non-negativity restrictions. That is this one. Therefore, this solution is feasible one. Now let us proceed for case 3, where we are keeping x1 and s2 is equal to 0. When we substitute this in these constraints, we get x2 plus s1 is equal to 6 from this first constraint, and second we get x2 is equal to 10 from this second constraint. Let us substitute x2 is equal to 10 over here. We see solution is s1 is equal to minus 4. So here solution obtained is x1 is 0, s2 is 0, x2 is 10, s1 is minus 4. Let us ask ourselves whether this solution is feasible or not. Answer is no. Why? Because it does not satisfy some conditions. It does not satisfy this non-negativity restriction. We got s1 is equal to minus 4. And if at all, if we put s1 is equal to 0 in this first constraint, we will see s1 is 0, x1 is already kept 0, x2 is 10. So we get 10 is equal to 6, which is impossible. Therefore, this solution obtained is not a feasible solution. In this way, we calculate for other cases and we write the result in tabular format as follows. This is how we create a table. Table headings are number of solutions, non-basic variables. In this column, we are going to write the variables that we choose as non-basic variables and we keep them as 0. In next column, we will write the solution after solving the equations. These equations are nothing but the constraints. The solution obtained by substituting these non-basic variable equal to 0 and solving the equations obtained. Here we are going to write whether the solution is feasible or not feasible. So far we have seen these three cases where we saw the first two cases turns to be feasible solutions and third one is not a feasible solution. On the similar lines, we are going to see what happens when we choose x2 and s1 equal to 0. We will put x2 and s1 equal to 0 into these two constraints and we will solve them. We see solution is x1 is equal to 6 and it is not feasible because it does not obey those conditions. In next case, we put x2 and s2 equal to 0 in these constraints. So this equation will turn into 2x1 is equal to 10. So x1 is equal to 5. We put x1 is equal to 5 over here. x2 is already 0. So s1 will become 1. So solution is x1 is equal to 5, s1 is 1, x2 and s2 equal to 0. So is the solution feasible? Yes, because it satisfies these constraints as well as these variables are all greater than or equal to 0. Therefore, so far we have found from these 5 cases, there are 3 solutions which are feasible. This one and this one. Now in next column, we will find the value of the objective function from these solutions. For that, we have to put this solution into this objective function. Objective function is z is equal to 3x1 plus 2x2. So let us put x1 is equal to 4, x2 is equal to 2. So we get 3 times 4 plus 2 times 2. It turns to be 16. Next, we put x2 is equal to 6, x1 is equal to 0 into this solution. We get 3 times 0 plus 2 times 6, that is 12. And for this, we will put x1 is equal to 5, x2 is equal to 0. So we get 3 times 5 plus 2 times 0, which is 15. Out of these 3 solutions, the optimal solution is 16. Because we have to maximize the function. So this is the maximum value of the function. This will be the minimum. So this is the optimal solution, which is called as basic feasible solution of the given LPP. I hope guys you understood this solution. Now let me discuss one more example. Here is the second example. Once again, we are asked to find all the basic feasible solutions of the given LPP. The objective function is of the type maximize. It is z is equal to 2x1 plus 3x2 plus 4x3 plus 7x4. Subject to the constraints, these two equations. This time, these two constraints are equations, not inequalities. So we don't have to add any slack variables or subtract surplus variables. And non-negative restrictions are x1, x2, x3, x4 are all greater than or equal to 0. Let us look at the solution. Here, all the constraints are in equation form, so we don't have to convert into inequalities into equalities. Total number of variables are 4 and number of constraints are 2. So the solution can be obtained by keeping 4 minus 2 variables as non-basic variables, keeping them as 0. So we keep these non-basic variables as 0 to find the basic feasible solution of the given LPP in following way. So these are all possible combinations of these 4 variables. It is x1, x2 equal to 0, x1, x3 equal to 0, x1, x4 equal to 0, x2, x3 equal to 0, x2, x4 equal to 0, and finally x3, x4 equal to 0. So from these 4 variables, we got 6 combinations of non-basic variables. Now let us prepare a calculation table as we have seen in previous example. In this way, first column is number of solutions. We have seen these 6 different cases for non-basic variables. We are keeping them 0. When we put x1 and x2 equal to 0 into these two equations, we will get 2 equations in x3 and x4. When we solve them, we see x3 is equal to 44 upon 31 and x4 is equal to 51 upon 31. Guys, you can pause the video and check this calculation using calculator. Then we will see whether it is feasible or not. The answer is yes. Why? Because it satisfies these two constraints and all the basic variables values is greater than or equal to 0. So that means they are following or obeying this non-negative restriction. We will also find the value of objective function here. In next case, we are keeping x1 and x3 equal to 0. After substituting these values into constraints, we get x2 is equal to 44 upon 13 and x4 is equal to minus 7 upon 13. Since x4 is less than 0, obviously this solution is not feasible. Next, we will keep x1 and x4 equal to 0 and we will put it into these constraints. We see x2 is equal to 51 upon 20, x3 is equal to 7 upon 20. Is this solution feasible? Answer is yes. Why? Because it satisfies these two equations and all the variables are greater than or equal to 0. That means they are satisfying non-negative restriction. So this solution is feasible solution. Similarly, we will see what happens when x2 and x4 are kept 0. After substituting x2 and x4 equal to 0 into these constraints, we see x1 is 51 upon 11 and x3 is minus 14 upon 11. Since x3 is less than 0, it does not obey this non-negative restriction. Therefore, this solution is not a feasible solution. Same thing we do with last case. After substituting x3 and x4 equal to 0 into these constraints, we see x1 is 1, x2 is 2. And yes, this solution is feasible because it satisfies these two equations as well as it obeys the non-negative restriction. Simultaneously, we have to obtain the value of this objective function by substituting this solution into this objective function. Note that we are supposed to find this value of z only when solution is feasible. Wherever it is not feasible, we will not find the value of objective function, like we did over here and here. We see solutions are 533 upon 31, 181 upon 20, 31 upon 3 and 8. Since objective function is of the type maximize, we will choose the maximum value among these four answers. The maximum value is 533 upon 31. So this is the optimal solution. Remaining solutions are not optimal solutions. This table represents the set of all possible feasible and non-feasible solutions of the given LPP. I hope guys you understood this part. Now it is your turn to solve some examples. These are a couple of exercise examples. I hope you will solve them at your end. Guys, please write me in comment box the solution to these problems. In my next video, I'll be discussing the simplex method to solve LPP. Till then, keep watching my videos, keep solving examples. Thank you all of you. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get updates about my new videos.